Z toho rána hrajeme až teď, protože jsme byli na výletě. Jistě o tom povyprávíme. Aha, dangerous game. Curse word. Oppenheimer. Oppadinga. Jo, tentokrát vyrazíme směrem tady dolů. A pak sem. Krsy. Grave. Vrátíme se k tomu týpkovi. Zase vevnitř. Jo, tady.
A journal? Let me see. This book looks like it might belong to the man who saved my life. He speaks of a brother in a place called the Icebrine Coast. Perhaps when the war is over, I will travel there and tell this man how his brother died. Thank you, champion. This book has brought me some small measure of peace.
To bych řekl, že ten quest bude mít nějaké pokračování nebo tak. Doufám, že mám zaplý mikrofon. Což zjistím, až mi najede počítač. Konánku, to bude jen panička. Ahoj. Nějaký ztracený voják. Vidím tak, že uděláme prostě výpravu tady nahoru. A se mi to spouští. Yeah. To mělo být v pohodě. Tak.
So two are dead and Herc still lives. That is good news at the least. Though I'll need to have words with him about refusing to check in when he was supposed to. Still, I owe you much. Take this gold in gratitude. Perhaps in the coming days we can work together again. He's a good scout, although he is a little too independent at times. Farewell.
Měl bych to tam prodávat zpátky, dokud mám možnost. Tak to prodáme.
I've got plenty of supplies if you've got... Plenty of coin. Back again.
Tak. Pa, 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 pa. Mi už ubírají, no. Tak.
You have reached the House of Sorrows.
Mortals now ultimated. Well, you have come, as he said you might. Have you found our king, Bizarrain, waiting for you in Cursewood? The Winter Fae need your help, but it is only Bizarrain's place to tell you of our plight. Remember.
House of Sorrow. Myslím, že prvně zkusíme zajít tamhle.
So you have come, whether to aid the house or rain punishment on the Tuatha, I do not know. That you are here is enough. To assuage your confusion, I am Bizarrain, king of the house. During your trials, I will observe and communicate to you through this medium. Through the crystal you see before you, it is not magical in and of itself, but a conduit for my own magic. All your actions will be known to me. Every word will be listened to. Your opinion in the matter is irrelevant. The way behind you is locked. The way in front is open. Your only means of exit lies in completing some course of action. And whatever you do, I shall observe and judge.
Tak. Odsud se skočím, takže to musím obejít na okolo, co? Vždycky bude tam mluvící koule, dáme nějaký úkol, budu to muset přežít a tak.
Mortal, I'm not like you. I'm not versed in the arts of war and bloodshed. I cannot defend myself from such a foe. Wait, what was that? It's here!
Musím vylepšit to, co? Začneme používat chvilku zase mečík.
And so you have completed your first trial. Your actions spoke volumes, but your reactions are just as pertinent. You killed the creature that was chasing that woman. Why? Your crude attempts to elicit answers will not advance you any farther with me. Ahead, you will find a Fae of Sorrows, dying of poison. I hope you display more finesse when dealing with him.
Please, are you the mortal that Bizarrain has brought to aid us? The one he has promised. Thank mercy I have been poisoned. But now that you are here, you can kill me. Please, end my suffering. I do not know. Everything is blurred. I do not even know where I am. It must have been him. He does whatever he cares with his subordinates. It was Bizarrain. Thank you for ending this.
Is something you readily deliver, it seems. But did that Fae die as a result of your mercy or your barbarity? To see what you will do clearly. Now, do not waste our time with unnecessary questions.
Nic zajímavého. Nic zajímavého. To máme tady.
You have reached this chamber at last. The time of trial is over. No more apparitions, No more questions. The House of Sorrows has always held a precarious position in this world, and now we hold on to it by the tips of our fingers. You think you have broken the Tuatha's grip on Cluracan. You have not. Even now, the Winter Fae and the House of Sorrows are subject to their malice. I am the King of Sorrows. I have held dominion over these halls, over this house, over the Winter Fae who dwell here. But the war upon Cluracan has sapped me of my strength. Should these times continue, I may become nothing. Nothing at all. It is we who permit the Winter Fae to rise above their basic nature, to foster decay and ruin. A nature that normally divides rather than unites. For a time, the House avoided the war that cleaves this land. But now that war is upon us, and we are not ready. I am not one to take anything on faith. If I wish to know an object's worth, I examine it for myself. This trial is designed to demonstrate your mettle. Because there are trials that I can observe from afar, and others that I must see at hand. We have reached the trial that I must be present for, if I am to test you truly. Indeed. Perhaps not. Speak. Now that your trial has concluded, come with me. The Tuatha have yet to break down our doors, but I would not put that past them. The house is poised to collapse from the Tuatha's dissension and destruction, and I need one to help us. Then welcome to our ranks, mortal. The Hearthstone I gave you at the start of the trials will now reflect your affinity with us. Come, join me at the House of Sorrows. I will show you a world stranger than you have ever seen. The Prince of Sorrows once, but now, no longer. He wages a war against the Tuatha with little support, but his own strength. Perhaps that is enough for him, but the only thing he will weaken is the house's morale.
Doufám, že jdu slyšet dobře, měl bys to.
But before your mortal corpses were hung there by Tuatha, it was the emblem of our house's duty. The most reverend corpses were placed not in the middle, but upon those boughs to show all
že bych mluvil, ale to jen, že tu nikdo není.
But like all things in these lands, the tree has been defiled by war. Saturnin took our greatest symbol and turned it to filth. My summer brethren embody the growth and progression of nature. As such, establishing the summer realms came easy to them. But the Winter Fae bear the burden of regression and decay in their essence. Left alone, they would never be able to overcome such a weight. They could never unite. The house's founder, the Weeping King, took on their sorrows and freed them. We carry the burden inherent in the Winter Fae, so they can achieve greatness. The House of Sorrows made a pact with the Tuatha. They would not interfere with us if we did not interfere with their war with the Alpha. Of course, the Tuatha did not trust us, so they insisted that a new king be appointed to the house, one agreeable to both parties. In the end, I was the one chosen. I was to be king. But in answering that call, I have been labeled a traitor by many within the house. He is the agent of the Tuatha. Though he bears their allegiance, his appearance is that of a Winter Fae. I am certain of it. I know little of him, but of me and my house, his knowledge is wide and deep. With every action, he reveals that he is merely toying with us. He is not a type of foe I am familiar with, for he does not attack outright. Instead, he instills fear and despair. The Midden is the cradle in which our race of winter was fostered. It is a place of rot, of decay, a place where the House of Sorrows holds reign. The Far Kelidae, they call themselves. The Faithful. They take the Fae of Winter and craft them into an army. But they know little of true devotion. If we are to discuss the plight of the house, I will do so at his heart. Come, meet me in the main hall of the House of Sorrows, and we will speak more.
Okay. House of Sorrow. Aha, no mě to rovnou vezme do House of Sorrow.
I have a task for you. Of late, there are many in this house who have come to view my authority with disdain. As such, there is need of someone unbiased by our house's history and the traditions therein. Someone such as you. We must move quickly. The Tuatha will not hold their strikes for long. Let us stop their next blow. You fail to understand. Although the Tuatha wage war with us, as they have with the Alfar, they do so by other methods. Our enemies are subtle. They target individuals, not armies. They strike at convictions, not cities. And by doing so, they can retreat to where we cannot find them. For all our years of struggle, we know only this. That our enemy is led by a Tuatha agent, Saturnin. He is the master of this shadowy coup. We cannot right now. He hides himself and covers his tracks well. But I have a lead which you will investigate with one of our delvers, Tybri. A tender, Katarak, has fled the house and killed a fellow member in doing so. I suspect Saturnin's influence, or perhaps that Katarak might be Saturnin himself. Bring Tybri to the body of Katarak's victim. Though dead, the Sorrows will remain on the corpse. The Sorrows can lead us to Katarak. Members of the house may choose one of two paths. The path of the Delver, or the path of the Tender. Delvers are those who commune with the sorrows of the living Fae and the recently deceased. They draw forth these sorrows and assume them. However, most Delvers lost their talent over these last few centuries. But our youngest, Tybri, shows some promise. The Tenders are those sacred few who oversee the decay and decomposition of a Winter Fae's body. They also oversee the Midden itself. For like a body, the Midden is a physical thing, a vessel for rot and ruin, that which is required for death to become rebirth. Finally, they once tended to the gallows tree, but that was before the Tuatha perverted it. There is a tender named Katarak who has fled our ranks. He is somehow tied to Saturnin. I am certain of it. I want you to find him and put an end to him. For if he is not Saturnin himself, then he is betraying our secrets to the Tuatha.
Greetings, mortal. I am a tender of the Midden. I have been instructed to offer you what insight I can give about the art of dispelling. Remember. Hello once more. If you wish to master the art of dispelling, then I can teach you what I can. Though we are targeted by Tuatha, Sidon is the only one
Za
who
chviličku
wages
dohraju
open
a
war
podíváme na
against them.
Conana.
For good or ill, I do not know. I have always felt
Asi si nevzal žádný energiťák,
but
co?
in the midden, the call is
Jsem ti
strongest.
zapomněl říct.
It allows me to see charms and spells and undo them.
Já půjdu.
This I teach to all.
Skočím si pro ten energiťák.
Once, we lived in the wilds of the Midden, but as the place became defiled, we had to take refuge in these old halls for fear of the beasts outside, and of Saturnin. If there is nothing else we can do, if we cannot bring a lasting peace for our house, then at least let us bring an end to Saturnin. In many ways, we are the keepers of the house in flesh, as the Delvers are the keepers of the house in spirit. We embody the corporeal. Be warned, mortal. The Midden is no longer what it once was. It is a place of beasts and dark, putrid magic, unsafe to all who enter. Remember.
Speak.
The Tuatha have sullied our gallows tree.
You, the Siegebreaker, walks here. Good. Now perhaps the Tuatha will have cause to fear us. I am Heisener, one of the Delvers. Sidon the Outcast. Nothing is truly solitary in nature, but Sidon walks a lonelier path than most. I wish him well. Once they could look into a Fae and take the burden of winter from their heart. But now, the Delvers are deaf to the sorrows. All, it seems, but one. There's little that can be said of it. The tree is the oldest in these lands. Like we Winter Fae, it thrives off decay. For too long have I been within this house, unable to help my brethren. I wish to walk the woods again. I wish to delve again. The Winter Fae look to us to appease the decay in Winter's heart. Through our efforts, all of Winter Fae are able to transcend their nature. I never thought to know a menace I could not see or hear or strike. And yet the Tuatha have furnished us with one. Farewell.
And you have come to Drozer. I know of your kind, mortal. I have seen what you have to offer. War, destruction, calamity. You are better off leaving us be. He will always be a prince of the house, even though we have parted ways. We wish him well.
Ten mě zrovna moc nemá rád.
The art of the Delvers has been passed on since the Weeping King first walked this midden. That it is now lost, it must be some Tuatha witchery. What do you wish to know of me, mortal? What of a Fae could you hope to understand? I will not deign to explain my life to you. Once, the bodies of our most faithful members were hung upon the tree. But now, the Tuatha have decorated it with the butchered corpses of mortals. Blasphemy! We are the foundation upon which all Winter Fae rely. By attacking us, the Tuatha have turned their back on their own kin once and for all. I have seen the Tuatha as they fell upon the houses of pride and of vengeance. It was horrible and maddening. But never have I seen a Tuatha draw out a battle such as this. Never have I seen one enjoy such malice. Be careful. Kadarok has fled our home.
No, je to tu fakt velký.
It seems there were more to the rumors of Bizerain's pet mortal than I gave credit. I am Matea, Lord Keeper of the House. I hold the lore of the house in my being. It is a responsibility that I alone can bear. As such, I am neither Delver nor Tender. Though he fights in the name of our people, I cannot help but feel abandoned by him. I only hope this war does not consume him. Delvers are not chosen. Though many wish to follow in the steps of the Weeping King, few have his gift. Those that do, then, are compelled to serve as he did. There has always been a House of Sorrows, it seems. Not long after the birth of the Winter Fae came the Weeping King, and with him, the House. There is no precedent for a foe like this. Even in the ancient wars, no Fae ever acted in a manner such as Saturnin. I am at a loss to know what we must do to stop him. I do not believe it is a victory we can achieve. Delvers see to the sorrows of a Fae, but Tenders see to his flesh. When a Fae dies, Tenders take the body to the Midden and see it safely into rot. Once a gentle place where the bodies of the Winter Fae
Co je v
were
podstatě
returned to the
pohřební
earth,
agentura.
the Midden is now a mire of filth, of putrid mortal death. Be careful when within. Until next time. The war has scarred our sacred lands.
Třeba zjistit, který východ je který. Jo, to je tenhle. Už mám ten klíč, takže si to tu můžu otevřít. Sranda, že vy vyjdete a když jdete zpátky, musíte si to zase otevřít klíčem. Ale toho nepenta jsme ještě nekecali. Ten se mi tu objevil až teďka, myslím.
Many tidings, mortal. I am a tender of this house. What is it you require? Though he has done well to stand against the Tuatha, he has done so by embracing their warlike methods. We are the penitent ones who oversee the rotting of the world. Your kind reviles us, but without our aspects of nature, nothing would ever flourish. I cannot venture into the Midden. Not any longer. There are beasts both ravenous and cruel, and sights loathsome to behold. It scares me. I thought the Tuatha were capable only of barbarity, only of outright vengeance. Instead, we are told that the Tuatha have unleashed on us a beast of cunning, of sly vindictiveness, and it cannot be stopped. We lack the subtle senses of our delving brethren. Nonetheless, we are as faithful to the Midden and the Weeping King's tradition as they are. When the world was young, it was from the Midden that we were born, and that all things came to die. Sorrows go with you.
Speak swiftly.
Sorrow's guide.
It seems these days that many flock to the Midden, either to jeer at the ruin of the gallows tree, or to bring ruin to this house. Which are you, I wonder? Can he hope for victory alone, when the whole of the house fears defeat? I applaud his determination, but I feel it will be his undoing. We are a thing of necessity, so I am told. An answer to our brethren, the Summer Fae, and the court they have constructed. It is a difficult thing not to know who your opponent is. No one can truly be trusted, not until Saturnin is stopped. In days long gone by, we would enter the midden and treat the bodies to ensure that they decayed into the earth that birthed us. But now, we can do nothing. There are few places in the world that have magic like the midden does. This is an ancient place, a home of elder things than we Fae. I will no longer stomach the delays and insults of Bizarrain. The house must be led to war. If not by him, then by someone else.
Tenhle spíš z válečné frakce, kdybych to měl takhle říct. No, dokecám tu s těma lidma a budu dneska končit.
So, there is a mortal after all. Bizarrain has done little in his time as king that has been
Že
quite
to je tolik lidí, tak budeme se tak zjišťovat, kdo z nich je vrah a kdo ne. Nebo prostě kdo je s těmi tuata.
In time, they might be able to perform their roles once again. But what use are delvers that can hear no sorrow? Tensions run high among their ranks. Quiet place once. I used to watch the rooks and crows rest gently upon its boughs. But now the beasts are savage things, glutting themselves on rotten flesh. How fitting, I think, that this place becomes like the bodies we tend. Empty, cold, and eventually consisting of nothing. It is said that Saturnin is one of us, one of the house. But who? Why would one of us betray us to the Tuatha? I have given up, mortal. It is the way of life to struggle, I think, in the jaws of death. But how can we consider ourselves devout if we struggle? No. Let us lay down our arms, let us lay upon the midden soil and pass on. Be safe.
We must move. For two?
The mortal. This house is full more of portents than of sorrow these days. Your arrival must truly be a telling of how dark these times have grown. The outcast? What more is there to speak than to say that he abandoned the traditions of this house out of lust for war and reprisal? Perhaps his motives are just. But nature cares little for what one does in the name of justice. Only what one does in the name of survival. Though delvers have heard sorrows in the past, there have, of late, been none that can perform the art. The spirit of the house is flagging, it seems. The tree is ever quiet, but sometimes you can hear it groan under the weight of the indignities it now bears. Saturnin has gone too far with his latest assault. I've seen this house in strong winters and weak ones, but I never pledged my being to a beast as winded and laboring as the house is now. We were greater once. We had tenders and delvers throughout these lands, not individuals huddled in worry over Saturnin and the Tuatha. The beast will be caught, for until now he has not tasted the strength of winter. He will pay for his crimes against us. Beware of Saturnin.
Let us talk, and so you come. The least powerful of us in some regards, the most powerful in many others. I am Rorid, mortal, one of the tenders of the midden. There are those that flee the house, as a crow fleeing a coming storm, but Sidon is more than that. He seeks to free us from the Tuatha. Nothing good remains for us. Too much has already been lost in this struggle with the Tuatha. I have always lived my life here in this house. What will become of me when it is gone? Are our fates bound, or will they be undone? We were hurt the most by the befouling of the midden. Of those that bay for the Tuatha's blood, none do so louder than the tenders. There is little that can be done for this place now. The Tuatha have sullied our ancestral cradle with the bodies of mortals. It may be changed forever. Be wary.
Be wary.
Mortal, there is something that requires the attention of one of your kind. You have been to the Midden, yes? The sacred ground being desecrated by the corpses of your kind? If there was anyone meant to bear the title King of Sorrows, it was him. Had we not succumbed to the Tuatha's bargaining, he would have been king. Instead, we turned our backs on him. The gallows tree is the silent sentinel of the Midden, demonstrating how life grows out of death. It justifies our existence, defines it. It is a symbol not only of the House of Sorrows, but of the Winter Fae. To bear one's corpse upon it was a sacred rite, until the Tuatha defiled it with mortal remains. It is from these halls that we of the house safeguard the oldest traditions of winter. It must be shown due reverence. I have nothing more to say about him other than history will know him as the victor. We keep the Midden as a monument to the debt we Winter Fae have made with nature. But now the Midden is defiled, and we can do our task no longer. It was a gift of the earth to commemorate the rot and decomposition of the Fae. Then the Tuatha sullied it with the corpses of their prisoners. Mortals do not decay like Fae do. Mortals putrefy and corrupt. The Midden and the House now feel this grisly taint. The nature of my request is not something the Midden needs, but something the Midden should do without. The corpses of your brethren have been thrown into the Midden as a declaration of hostility by the Tuatha. But they do more than signify a point. Their corruption and rot have drawn an ancient Lianshi Mithra from slumber. She gluts herself on the bodies and will further corrupt the Midden if unchecked. You cannot hope to solve the problem with a simple application of violence. The Athra is old, and she is wise to obvious attacks on her. Searching will yield no quarry, so you must be cunning. If we cannot find her in the Midden, we can force her to return to her den beneath the house. Find fresh corpses, the ones Mithra prefers to eat, and cremate them. With no food to scavenge, she will return to her den. Then, you can kill her. She is an ancient and powerful Lianshi. Normally she hibernates in the Midden, but the recent influx of dead mortals has driven her to feed. It will only be a matter of time before she further corrupts the Midden with her presence. For the house's sake, she must be put down. With great difficulty. She is clever, and hides well when any come hunting for her. To search for her outright would be folly. But with some cunning, we can force her to appear. Mithra prefers fresh corpses. Destroy those, and she would likely return to her den to wait for more. Locate any fresh corpses you can find, and cremate them. Without food, she will stop scavenging and return to her den. Make haste.
Make haste. Tak jo, ještě co mě napadá, že bych měl udělat, než na to zapomenu. Jít se dispelnout, jít se opravit. Takže tady jsou ti healeři.
Back for some healing? I haven't seen her in quite some time. I hope everything is well. Master Hawkins' recovery has been miraculous, and he has been quite a help around here. Stay safe.
Okay. Teď ještě musíme zaběhnout za opraváři.
Well, you bent me over the anvil right proper. I did not see the demon fall, but I felt the earth shake. To slay such a creature, you must have been blessed by the gods. She is the highest-ranking blade master in the Alpha army, and she fought beside Telera herself. Would probably have gutted the Baelor too, if she'd gotten close. Bronwyn Sen is a living legend. Treat her with respect. The swamp just east of the city. I'm not really sure why all the Alpha here call it that, but from what I've seen of the monsters that inhabit it, it deserves the name. A terrible loss for us. Should have been her leading our armies south. Give them hell.
Jo, tady to savenem. A potom o 6. budu pokračovat. Save. Save. A na viděnou za chvíli. Případně příště.